All right, my man Jeff Mayweather. I know you with the Team Combat League, Las Vegas Hustle. Do you like the team concept in boxing, which is generally looked at as an individual sport?
Um, Actually, I love it, and I think it's here to stay because every round is energized because you putting in two fresh people, and they're gonna give it all they got in that one round.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, I think that is here to stay.
No, definitely, man. It's definitely different and interesting, and it definitely keeps your attention.
Yeah.
I look at boxing now, Jeff, and you've been around this sport for a very long time. I know it's always kind of been there with the Prince Nassim Hamed. Not saying he couldn't fight because he could fight his ass off, but do you feel like now when you look at guys like Ryan Garcia, are we starting to put personality and marketability in front of talent in some aspects?
Um. Yes, of course. I mean, what you got to realize is that we're in an era now where you have teenagers that are becoming millionaires just because of something that they're doing on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And basically, when you have anyone that's marketable, kind of like Ryan Garcia, he's an influencer. He's a guy that he got his fame from from being on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on YouTube or on Instagram or one of these platforms.
Yeah.
And so I mean, you can become somebody, and actually, I mean, without a name at all. All you got to do is do something that enough people like and enough people follow you. You become someone, and you become wealthy. So I mean, we're in a whole different era. Where basically you had to earn the right to become someone. You had to do something before somebody recognized you. But not now. You have these influencers that like I said, I mean, that have a following, which makes sense. It does make sense because basically every sport loves to have followers.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's a little different in sports because the followers are in the seats, but these are followers that just following you on your platform, but if you do something, they're gonna come out and see you,
It's crazy.
So, and I mean, and basically, it's it's become it's actually becoming normal. It's become normal now because basically, kind of take my hat off to the Paul brothers. I mean, they were the first ones that really, brought attention to everyone, and I was glad I was a part of the very first fight with, the first big fight with Logan Paul and KSI, and I was a part of KSI's team,
Mm-hmm.
and so, and at that point, it was kind of like to me, if you're a part of it and you benefit from it, it's cool. But if you don't, you're gonna probably criticize it.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things that is some people will like it. I mean, I liked it because I was a part of it. But but at the same time, I mean, you have people that have who have did this their whole entire life, and they never ever in their life going to see the kind of money that Jake Paul's making or his brother's making.
Yeah.
Or KSI's making. But but like I said, I mean, with life, there's evolution, and with evolution, time changes everything,
Mm-hmm.
and with time changing, that's why this is what's happening today. You have guys that, like I said, I mean, that are really making money at it. They find something that's interesting enough for people to watch. That's it. You become a millionaire. And I
Yeah.
mean, It's crazy, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I wish I was a part of it. I wish I knew how to do it. I wish I knew how to do it because I mean, it's something about it. I mean, it's something. I mean, I guess because I'm in training influencer, and I mean, he does well. He's a kid that's only 19, and I mean, he's doing well for himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but and I mean, of course, he talks to me about what the algorithms and whatever. I don't know nothing about that stuff. Whatever. That's just words to me.
The youngsters know all about it, though.
Yeah, they know exactly what it means and how it affects their page or anything.
But
So
with that being said, Jeff, if you have a kid like Ryan Garcia, who's obviously immensely talented, how do you handle a fighter like that if you had Ryan Garcia, who's immensely talented within the sport, but obviously flawed in his personal life?
I mean, he can be a headache. Mm-hmm. He's a loose cannon because you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. I mean, here it is. He talking about black people and that, talking about, that somebody should be hung by like George Floyd and all this, and then your trainer is the one who's black. So what's wrong? What's wrong?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all right when he was doing all this, fake stuff like acting like he's drinking and all that stuff that he played, all the game he played with before
Devin.
After that shit wasn't funny no more.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't funny at all no more. And to the point where he's lucky to.
He's lucky what, Jeff? Your phone cut out a little bit.
I said he's lucky to still be alive.
Yeah, I agree.
With the things that he said, because, I mean, everybody's not going to just take that with a grain of salt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody ain't going to say that's just Ryan being Ryan.
Right.
When you look at Canelo Alvarez, who's 34 years old with 65 fights, and Bud Crawford, who's 36 with 41 fights, based on what you've seen from their recent performances, which one do you feel like will get old overnight in the ring?
I don't know. I mean, I think this is the first time I've seen Crawford in a fight that wasn't one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a fight that, especially you think that it's going to be one-sided, especially with a guy that has no notoriety, has no name, no name value or anything. But at the same time, I mean, he went up another weight class. And he had a guy that can fight good enough to make it a tough fight. And, if his next performance is like that, we might have already seen it.
Yeah.
It's possibly to be there. But, I mean, Canelo, haven't really seen that. Haven't seen that yet. I mean, and, Canelo is basically, he's wise enough now to know that he is the cash cow and he wants everybody else to know it too.
Yeah.
So he's taking no risk for a whole lot of money.
Big reward, low risk.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, he's earned that right, though.
Oh, of course. I 100% agree.
Yeah. And I mean, and he earned that right to do that. And so basically, I mean, to me, he's getting his just dues. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's kind of sad that, Crawford, as good as he is, that, if Crawford would have dominated that last fight, there was a potential fight for him and Canelo.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is this: you only went up to 154. You still got 2 weight classes to go up.
Absolutely. That's what I keep telling people, man. That's another 14 pounds.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And you ain't talking about no average guy. You talking about one of the best in the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I mean, there's it's one of those situations where, I mean, of course, at points I thought that had a chance, now I think size just may be too much.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's still trying to, I think, put on a great show. But to beat Canelo, like he's been beating other people, no, I don't see that.
Yeah, without a doubt. Before I let you go, I got a fun question for you, man. Given your skill set as a trainer, you name me a fighter in history of boxing who you would love to train, given their skill set as a fighter.
Let me see. Well, one of my favorite fighters.
Oh, your phone cut out. You got to give it to us again.
Oh, shoot. Damn.
I hear you now. You good.
Okay. Well, I said the guy that I really like more than most fighters, and he's a good fighter. People know him, but he's not really like a major anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a guy that was become that, but he wasn't that at the end of his career, and that's basically Michael Nunn. He was always one of the fighters.
Okay.
And I love the way he fight, and I would have loved to train him.
Man, I wouldn't have guessed that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that, I think I got a little bit more to him.
Man, good stuff. Well, Jeff, before your phone cut out on us again, I'm going to let you get. I appreciate it, my man, and we'll talk soon, brother. Thanks, Jeff.